share a popcorn recipe with everybody that I learned years ago while homeschooling. So I'm going to call it homeschool popcorn. It's popcorn that has no butter on it. And it'll be the best popcorn you ever had. I sold it at one time when I worked at a bank. And everybody would pay me for my popcorn. So the reason it's named is the homeschool is I used to homeschool my child. And years ago, when homeschooling first came out, and we went to a homeschool meeting once a month, there was about 30 or 40 women, and we were sitting around a table, and the host that was hosting at our house served some popcorn. And I'm telling you, I had never tasted popcorn like that, so I had to ask her what was all in her popcorn. And I'd never had popcorn without butter taste so good. It is old-fashioned. You pop it on the stove. It's got 3 ingredients to it. First of all, I do white popcorn. It is it's little. It's crunchier. It's a lot better than the yellow popcorn. I use canola oil. Can't use any other oil but the canola. That's what makes it good. And then we do sea salt. I do fine sea salt. When you get finished popping your corn, I put them in a bag. That way you can eat on it a little at a time or whatever. But when you put it in this baggie and it sits overnight, I'm telling you, the flavor is just awesome. And so I wanted to share it with everybody. So we're going to pop some popcorn. Now, I'm not a good measurer, and I don't think it really matters on the measurements because I don't use a measurement. I just do how I feel to it. I know how much popcorn makes a big pot. We're going to cook it in a big pot because I'm cooking some for me and my mother. And so I'll make this pot full, and I will transfer it when it gets popped, and then I'll put the sea salt into the bag, shake it up, and it is good to eat from there. So it's pretty daggone simple. So I have a gas stove, and I'm gonna turn my gas stove on and take the lid off, of course, and we're gonna use the canola oil. So you're gonna think this is a lot of oil, but I cover the bottom because I'm making a whole thing of popcorn, and if you put more than you need, it's going to soak it up, so it doesn't matter. And like I said, I do not measure anything. I couldn't tell you if I used a half a cup or anything like that. So we're just going to pour, and I'm going to cover the bottom, and I'll show you. I'm going to cover that bottom pretty good. That's probably perfect right there. That way, see, you kind of got some play in that, just like that. All right. Now, I don't wait for it to get hot or anything. We're going to take our white popcorn, and this is Jolly Time, so it's pretty cheap. I just don't like the yellow. I like it to be crunchy, and I've never really had the best luck with Orville Redenbacher or anything like that. He has the yellow, and he might have white now, but the white is so good and crunchy. So I'm just gonna reach into with my hand here. So anyway, I'm just gonna take a handful, and I'm gonna go ahead, and what we're gonna do is I'm gonna cover that bottom right there. So you're just gonna pour it in there till it covers the bottom a little bit, and probably maybe this is what it looks like. Then I shake that pot, and it's gonna sit there and it's got a little bit of oil in it. But believe it or not, at the time when I lost a lot of weight on this popcorn. Maybe I need to eat it again. I'm gaining. But anyway, so I put it in there, and I kind of watch it a little bit. It's starting to get hot. And we're going to see how it's getting hot there. So,
okay.
See it cooking? And you've made popcorn before. A lot of people, believe it or not, I've talked to the kids nowadays, and they've never heard of on the stove popcorn. It's out of date, I guess. But you know, that's the way we made our popcorn. We didn't have bag popcorn, and you know, I don't like it. It's dry, and I know a lot of people like to eat the non-fat stuff. Yeah, this has got oil in it, but I tell you, I lost quite a bit of weight just eating this stuff. You don't have the butter on it, so the butter is what causes a lot of the calories. And it'll start popping here in a minute, and I'll put the lid on, and we can hear it pop. I'll let you hear it pop, and when it gets full of popcorn, I will definitely take the lid off and show you. It's starting to pop just a little bit there, and you can see how tiny those kernels are. They're white, and they are so crunchy and good. And you want to, got an electric stove, you know that when it gets full, you better move it off the stove. I can just turn my gas off and it turns off the heat so it doesn't burn. Believe it or not, a lot of people shake their popcorn. I don't know why. I do not shake mine. I just let it cook. All you're doing is moving the kernels around in there if you shake it. I don't see why they do that, but I just let it pop. And I know a lot of women love popcorn, and men do too. Men love popcorn, and they look for the less calories. So it's probably taken about 3 minutes to pop this. It's still popping. You can hear it. It is slowing down. So as soon as I don't get a pop, I'm going to turn it off. Okay. Now, I'm going to wait just a second so it don't pop out. And if you look, I cooked my perfect amount. Look at there. And like I said, I am cooking for my mom. So, you know, you have a family of 4, whatever. It's perfect. So, what we're going to do is I'm going to take this bag, and I'm going to fill it. So, I'll put a couple, I'm going to fill it, and then I'll come back to you. Okay. So, I scooped the white popcorn into the bag. Just like that. And this is my mom's. So we're going to take it. We're just going to, it's hot. So you want to leave that open. You know, it'll, if you don't leave that open and let it get full, it'll be watery feeling. So then we're going to take, I buy Morton sea salt. I buy the fine. I cook with this. So that's all the salt that I have in my house is just sea salt, which is a lot better for you than regular salt. Now you're going to take it, and everybody's different about their salt, so it depends, you know, how much. So I'm going to sprinkle it a little bit, about like that, and then I'm going to shake it. And as this sits, I'm not kidding you, if you let this sit overnight, you will never miss that butter. I mean, I used to pour bukus of butter over my popcorn thinking that that's what made it taste good. But this right here, okay, that's probably it.
Okay.
So this is homeschooling popcorn. No butter, sea salt, and canola oil. Very easy, and it's got the white popcorn. If you have a way of making your popcorn, I'd love to see it. But I'd love for you to comment, and I'd love for you to like and to subscribe, please. Got any questions? Just ask. And that's it. That's simple life.